Hey everyone, I just wanted to review with you how you did with CSIM this week, and I hope you had a good week. It looks like everybody was able to get in and submit for round one, so I'm going to go ahead and review those results. Before I get started, just want to apologize that I am incredibly sick right now, so if I have a coughing fit or need to blow my nose, I apologize in the meantime. So, as we look at the teams, Team Green, Red, and Blue, it looks at this point that Team Green has come out on top from a sales revenue, followed by Red and Blue. And then also from a profit perspective, Team Red is up from a profitability perspective. Team Green right behind them, and then Team Blue a little bit in the negative, but that's something, in my opinion, to be expected in the first couple of rounds. I don't expect to see a ton of profitability, especially if you're building up your facilities or your equipment that you're selling. So that's just something to kind of pay attention to on this results tab that I'm in. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at our ratios. The one thing to really pay attention to that I tend to look for is your return on capital or your return on equity. And if you're in the like 15 to 25% range, you're doing very well. So clearly Team Green and Team Red are doing very well in that. Again, Team Blue, I think you're still working on building up a few things. So that's not to be unexpected this first round. But we'll take a look at some of the more detail specific items to see if we can pinpoint how you guys are doing and where you're at. And since this is all about improvement and how we're doing overall, Team Blue certainly has some opportunity to make that happen over the next 5 weeks as well. So when I look at market shares, everyone started off with 33 1/3% market share since it was divided equally among the three teams. So right now it looks like Team Red and Team Green took some of that market share. So while Team Green had higher revenue, Team Red had more market share. So that's something to think about because Tech 2 probably costs more. There's more revenue in that, and that's where Team Green came out ahead. Team Blue is at 11, but if you look at with Tech 2, you're at 30%. So that's actually not a bad place to be. Tech 2 is just not as widespread available. So certainly that's a promising thing for Team Blue to look at as well. You can also click into the US, Asia, and Europe to take a look at some of these items. But one thing that I want to take a look at is product prices per technology. So right now everybody's doing technology red, or technology 1 and technology 2. So when you look at these, Team Green definitely has a lower price point for technology 2, so they're probably selling a bit more of that than the other groups. So when you're looking at your prices, that's something to pay attention to. However, Team Blue and Team Red are still selling them, and they're selling them for more money, so that helps improve their profitability. So you don't want to be too low with your price, but there's a balancing point there, right? So from a market share perspective, having a low price point is great. From a profitability perspective, it might not be as good as you think. So take a look at those prices and kind of adjust accordingly. Same with technology 1 for the red team, 280 are real close to the green team. Team Blue, you may want to look at technology 1 because I think you're a bit high there, and that's probably why you lost a little bit of market share because you're excessively higher than the other two. Now, that doesn't take into consideration your add-ons that you might have and your features for each of your phones. That does drive up the cost of your phone, so you may have a lot more features than another one of the companies has. As far as product prices in Asia, remember that this is in yen, so the price points do definitely look differently. And then you can see here, you guys are pretty comparable in prices here. Tech Green's a little high for Tech 2, and red might be a little bit low for Tech 1 in Asia, but you're real close in that area. And then blue team, definitely look at your European prices because you seem to be excessively high there. So you may want to pull those back a little bit to help improve your market share because this is in euros and it should be less than your US prices comparatively speaking. So it does seem just a little bit high from a price point there. I'm going to switch to production report. In the production report, this is where you get your utilization information. You can see the team red was 100% utilized, which is a really great utilization rate, but it also means that they ran out of product. So they're not making enough based on what they could have potentially sold. Again, 73%, very good first go around Team Green for utilization. I'd like to think utilization should be in the 90 percentile. At 100%, you know that you have some lost opportunity potentially, but at 73%, you still have room to sell. So that's something to pay attention to when you look at that. I'm just going to look at the details here, which will give us a little bit more information as well. So technology, our Team Red, you did use contract manufacturing, and I think that was worthwhile because you ran out of production. So I would continue, based on how you're doing, continue to do that. Team Blue, I would cut all of your contract manufacturing until you can get your utilization up where it needs to be. So you have to adjust your prices and make some adjustments this week. And Team Green, you probably are a little bit over in your contract manufacturing, at least in one of these areas, and it may just be in the US. So you may want to just adjust accordingly. 73% is not bad from utilization perspective, and I think maybe you're filling in from an Asia. So if I reduced anything, I would reduce here for sure. So hopefully that helps you with that. So if I look at the number of plants for the next round, everybody stays the same. The round after, you guys are starting to grow plants. Please remember that it takes 2 weeks to have more manufacturing capability, and you will not be able to do that really after week 4 because you won't see that actually come to fruition because it is such a short game. So definitely build your plants up front. And then this is the cost report. This is looking at your logistics costs, and this is generally where I go to look just to make sure that there isn't anything weird. If I see blue on here for products sold in the US, then clearly you're shipping your products from Asia to the US. You're not doing that here, so I think you're fine. A few of you were a little bit higher with your products sold in Asia, which means that you were actually shipping product from the US to Asia. So we know that the Team Red ran out of product, and so Asia probably was one of your strongest areas, and you were probably shipping from the US to Asia, which is why your cost was a little bit higher than maybe Team Green's cost was. And then Blue Team, I'm not really sure. You must have run out a little bit in Asia too, which would be kind of my guess. This isn't out of the normal. I wouldn't be too concerned about this. Like I said, I usually am more concerned if I see products sold in the US because you have plants in the US and you should be shipping there first. So that's how I look at the results from this week. If you have any questions about anything specifically, please let me know. Thank you.